Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and we are in the final home stretch to Halloween. This Friday is Halloween, and we are also in the home stretch for the horror movie Scratch Off Month. And today we're talking about a film, and I can't think of a better film to kick off this week than the film that I just watched. It is one that I had never seen before from start to finish. It is an essential classic for any horror fan, and I kicked myself for not watching it until now. And that film is from 1960 and is Alfred Hitchcock's classic Psycho. Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, as well as Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. Now, this film, first off, with this particular film, the opening credits, hearing the Psycho theme play, and seeing like the name, the name Psycho pop up on the screen, and like it's like kind of choppy, like almost like something's cutting the name of the logo apart, like in during the opening credits. But just that and the music are just enough to get you okay, get your heart racing, get everything going. Okay, what are we in for here? This is going to be an amazing, amazing ride, and it's not just the sound or the theme song for this. This film is absolutely outstanding. It is. I mean, I'm getting right to it, guys. It's just an amazing, amazing experience. I really enjoyed this film a lot. And, I was able to finally break out my 4K that I had never watched before and check it out in 4K. And it looks great and it sounds great as well, guys. But back to the film. It is shot amazingly. Alfred Hitchcock, even by today's standards and how things are shot, it was incredible. Like he had an eye back in 1960 to how to film this psychological thriller, this slasher before things were really called before movies were really called slashers. His aerial shots, like the shots above, like in the Bates house, not so much in the hotel, in the motel as well, but the house. There are scenes in that house where you see like Norman's mother. We're gonna get some spoilers, guys. If you haven't seen this film, we're gonna have some spoilers. It's one of those films that you just can't get away from having spoilers about. But you see like an overhead shot in the house, and you see like Norman's mother and everything, and just the way that that's shot, and one of our characters who's walking up these stairs towards the room where Norman's mother is. I love how it's unique. Even today, I find it to be unique for a film this old to do something that's not doesn't happen a lot nowadays is incredible, and I love it. What a great director Alfred Hitchcock was, and a master of cinematography, being able to get the shots that look, the shots that he was able to get and just have them look breathtaking and amazing and incredible, even by today's standards. But this film picks up with Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh. Now, Janet Leigh, of course, is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, who, of course, is Laurie Strode in the Halloween franchise. But think about that. You have the original Scream Queen. I mean, Janet Leigh is basically the original Scream Queen. Her daughter kind of like took that mantle from her, you know, in Halloween. So it's like that pedigree, that DNA for that family is absolutely freaking incredible. Two of the probably the two most legendary Scream Queens of all time, all part of the same, family, of the same bloodline. It's amazing. But Janet Leigh as Marion Crane, you figure she's the protagonist. If you saw this film for the first time back in 1960, you're probably thinking, okay, she's probably going to be our main character that we're going to follow throughout the entire film. And if we see, from the shower scene, guys, the shower scene is a legendary horror scene. Any kind of, when we're talking about horror documentaries, anything like that, that scene always pops up. But before we get to that, we get to the beginning of the movie. We have Marion Crane, who was in this hotel room with her boyfriend. Get this, guys. His name, Sam Loomis. Now, what other character, many, many years later, would be named Samuel Loomis? Could John Carpenter have been a fan of Psycho? Not just naming Donald Pleasant's character Samuel Loomis in Halloween, possibly more than likely named after Sam Loomis in this film, but also casting the daughter of the daughter of Janet Leigh in Halloween. Carpenter, obviously a very big fan of Psycho. But Marion Crane, she and Sam, they they're together. But Sam doesn't want to get married just yet. He wants to be able to make sure he has the money, the finances, to be able to take care of Marion. Now, Sam goes off, does his thing, goes back to his home. She leaves to go to work, and she works. I think it's like a real estate agency. And her boss has a client who comes in. This guy is just really, really full of himself. He's got $40,000 cash, kind of flaunting it in front of Marion, saying how he bought his daughter buying his daughter a wedding present, and it's a house with this $40,000. And Marion is obviously very tempted. And after her boss asks her to go and make a deposit at the bank of this 40,000, she takes the money and runs, deciding she can go ahead with this 40,000 and start a life with Sam. Sam has no idea any of this is going on. He is completely innocent, no idea what Marion has planned. So along the way, as Marion's trying to make her way to Sam, it starts to rain. She starts, she's figuring, I need to pull over because I can't see. It's a downpour. And of course, she comes across the Bates Motel. And this is where we see Anthony Perkins for the first time as Norman Bates. He's a little quirky. He's a little out there. Definitely he's not the most social person in the world. And definitely you can see, even though he runs this motel with his mother, you can see he might not be the best person with dealing with people in general. So they have, a little bit back and forth. You can definitely tell she's a little taken back at times by how he's acting and things. And as we move along, I don't want to go into like complete detail because again, this is an hour and 49-minute film, but it's perfect. I mean, it's for me, first time instantly, it's a 10 out of 10. It's an absolute 10 out of 10 classic. I can see why it's considered a classic. And of course, Janet Leigh, Marion says, I need, because Anthony Perkins, Norman Bates offers her some food because she's hungry, and they have a little back and forth, as she's eating the food. And now she's like, I need to get to bed. I need to get up early because she starts to have a little bit of a change of heart about the money that she's taken, and she decides she's going to go back home and try to fix things, and maybe not get as much trouble as what she would be if she was going to take the money completely and never come back with it. But fortunately for Marion, she meets her demise at the hands of Norman's mother. We don't see the face, but we know it is a woman from the shower scene because she comes in. You can see the hair and the knife as she, levels Marion with that knife, and that is unfortunately that is the last that we see for Marion Crane in the film. But Janet Leigh is she's breathtaking when you see her on camera. She absolutely beautiful, and the camera every time she's on camera, you're just captivated for the amount of time that she is on screen. So we go from now thinking that maybe she's going to be the protagonist. Well, now she's not. Now she is gone. But now the mystery starts to unravel. Now you have a private detective who has been hired to come in and find out what happened to Marion and the $40,000. You also have Sam, who's involved, and her sister Lila. Now, the private detective by the name of Albergast, he comes in and he's looking around. He's talking to everybody like hotels and motels. Also talking to Sam and Lila, trying to figure out what is going on. Are they involved? Is Sam involved with everything that's going on? Did he know about the $40,000 being taken by Marion? Now we follow that story as he finally comes to the Bates Hotel and has an interaction with Norman. And so we're following the private detective story. But things change as the movie goes on, and now it becomes a story about Sam and Lila having to unravel the complete mystery and finally solve what is going on. Is Norman Bates involved with this? Everybody's, people have said, or Sam says, I saw a woman's silhouette in, because he went there. I saw a woman's silhouette in this house, in the window in this house, because the house is behind the actual motel. But the sheriff in town says to Sam, that's impossible because Norman's mother has been dead for 10 years. So did Sam really see see a woman there? He swears that he did. So Lila and Sam go and do a little investigating at the Bates Hotel themselves. And of course, they have an interaction themselves with Norman. And this is where things really start to pick up. We finally find out what exactly is going on with good old Norman and his mother. And it's the ending. I'm not going to go all the way to the very end, guys, because the way it's shot and what happens with Norman at the very end of this film, and the shot on his face, the way his face looks and the expression, it's just it's a masterpiece, absolute masterpiece. Every single shot that Hitchcock was able to make in this film, it's again, it just blows my mind. A film, that just shows that it doesn't matter how old a film is, it can still hit the mark in so many ways and be perfect in every single way, no matter how old it is. And this is just one of those master classes in how to film something, how to make a movie and have it be, creepy and psychological and be a thriller and do all these different things and get all these different emotions out of you. And to take a story which is a pretty simple, somebody steals money, they're on the run, something happens to them, it becomes a mystery of what happened to them. A simple type of story, but be able to add so many different layers and have not a huge amount of characters in this film, but they're great. I mean, everybody does an outstanding job in this film. Anthony Perkins is how he did not win an award for playing Norman Bates. I don't know, because he's the best actor in this film, hands down. His performance is by far, in my opinion, above everybody else's in this. Like, everybody else is just playing it that kind of like 1960 type of feel, the way with the dialogue and everything. But his just seems so advanced, more modern dialogue. If you see the film, you'll understand what I'm saying. His just seems so genuine and authentic of how he's coming across, and his creepiness is just coming across in the film. Psycho is an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Can't say enough about it, guys. So yeah, really happy to start off the final week before Halloween talking about Psycho. So let's go ahead and get back to the scratch offs and see what our next film is going to be in, on the docket. I can't believe it. Whew. This month has gone fast, but we have talked about some great films, guys. So let's shuffle up the deck, and we are going to come to, let's go ahead with this one. PG 1982, 104 minutes, supernatural fantasy. Right there. Let's go ahead and scratch this one off. And we will be talking about, I had a feeling it was going to be this one, from Tobe Hooper, 1982. We're talking Poltergeist. Looking forward